Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating it's Saturday, August 15th, 2015. Ra and Pan, Luce and Glenn in the Lynn-Body-Mind, Black Wolf, Paul and Fritz in the Jamie-Body-Mind, other teammates in other aspects of the physical dimension, all of us in the physical dimension in some size, level, or another. We have continued to participate in experiments, testing basically how necessary is this particular physical portal to our efforts, and continually the tests show that without this physical portal, this is not going to work very well.
That's true.
And that we will lose the entire subatomic effort and, in fact, the entire doorway into the physical dimension. There isn't another working doorway even in the larger physical levels.
That's true.
And we ourselves as souls, of course, are not off the hook, and we will continue to have the soul plan to manifest the divine plan no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do, with the awareness that what's required is triggering an awakening, providing a collective restart. And we simply won't have this portal, which will make it a lot worse, a lot harder than it is right now. Therefore, our efforts for this week center around doing what is ours to do in all dimensions right now to provide a collective restart, and also to maintain this portal in such a way that it actually wishes to stay open. And with that, it begins. Luce is here. He's making an excellent point. He's saying that he's been making eternal bubbles for us to work inside of, as I have been doing as well. I, Ra, have been doing the same thing.
That's true.
So that we can get done what needs to happen during the 2-week notice that we have. We have 2 weeks to get an awful lot changed so that this portal even wishes to continue working.
That's true.
I want to make it really clear that unless she wishes to continue, once her 2 weeks are up, I am not going to force her to continue to work. That would be disgusting slave labor. And we see how we, the souls of the effort, have been doing this in multiple aspects of the physical dimension. We've been not classically body snatching, because we are coming in to manifest the divine plan.
That's
and not
true.
just to get our rocks off, to be honest.
That's true.
But we are body snatching if we aren't working with the ambient error patterns of the life, and if we aren't working with the ambient challenges of the life in addition to working to manifest the divine plan.
That's true.
What do I know? I know that all of the tools of the trade that we have only work when that's what the situation calls for. And in the cases of the eternal bubbles, we need the time, but we need the time, and we also need to make the decision to change.
That's true.
Just having more time in which to accomplish the work, doing it just like we want to do it, won't work.
That's
that
true.
won't work.
That's true.
We have to let go of our own error patterns and help our host lives with their ambient error patterns,
That's true.
or we aren't doing the job.
No. And there are often so many intersections of interest between the error patterns of the souls and the error patterns of the bodies that it's win-win-win for everyone involved.
To heal them.
To heal them.
And lose for everyone involved.
To ignore them.
And pretend that they don't exist,
That's
right?
true. That's true.
And for example, we see poor Asha, who I really love and who's a good person, has fallen into this trap of ignoring the ambient error patterns that she herself has, and then when she gets over into that body mind and their ambient error patterns feed on each other,
That's true.
She really becomes someone that we don't want to be around.
That's true.
And if it happens to Asha, let's not be confused. It can happen to all of us.
That
all
is
of
definitely
us.
true.
All of us. I'm not confused about that because I have the tests in the library of how Asha and I did comparatively when we were both here in this house doing the work, and how Asha's doing outside of this house doesn't bode well for me, and how I would do outside of the house.
That's true.
We have a week left of a 2-week notice.
That's true. So now's the time to make the changes, both in the lives, for the body minds themselves, and for us, the souls.
Now is the time.
Now is the time. Paul here. We can see what's being shown over and over again today is the ambient error pattern of blocking truth, so that messages go by unheard, fall on deaf ears, but only deaf ears that choose to be deaf. We can all choose to hear and heal the ambient error patterns that contribute to the deafness. And I, Paul, definitely recognize this in myself. I recognize it in this body mind, and Fritz and I, Black Wolf, to a certain extent, recognize that the pattern is shared all the way through us as well.
Well, enough to keep the messages from being caught there.
That's true. Over and over and over again, we have the opportunity to heal the root causes of blocking truth, of deafness to the messages from above.
Of not hearing the messages.
Of not
because some of
hearing
it
the
might
messages.
be blocking and some of it might be not wanting to do what's tough. So go for the symptom, not for the diagnosis. Your diagnosis is that you're blocking messages, but the symptom is that you aren't hearing the messages.
Got it. Got it. Symptom is of not hearing the messages. So for myself, Paul, and for the body mind, and for all the souls of Team Takedown, having the intention to heal the root causes of not hearing the messages and whatever that represents in such a way as to align all members of the team with their soul plans and provide a collective restart right now. And chopping with the sharp metal blades, chopping up all the lies in the pillar, and then dropping down deeper and chopping up the lies and pumping them up. And I see how what Glenn has been doing is carrying big boxes, trunks of lies up and out in a continual stream. So starting a stream flowing instead of stopping and starting, just keeping it moving continually with my own efforts.
It's actually easier to do the way that Glenn is doing it, and therefore is going to work better for you. He's literally going down, picking up boxes of lies from the collective archives of all that is, and climbing up all the stairs through this portal. He's over here in this portal until he can't get any higher. The attic, quote unquote, of the portal, probably the crown chakra. I don't know. It's like putting it just above the crown chakra, and now it's somebody else's job, his own higher soul's job, to pick it up
and carry it
higher.
That's true.
Higher and higher and higher up.
That's
because the Glenn that's in the body hands it over right above the crown chakra to the Glenn that's in the control room, who hands it up to a higher soul of himself who should actually already be melted down, but that's a different problem.
Right, that's true.
Right, and that handoff occurs right above the 5th sky chakra.
That's true.
So what you're trying to do, keep a river flowing, requires constant prime. And you don't have constant prime.
Got it. So to go down into the basement, grab the box of untruth, bring it up.
Bigger box than that.
Go down to the basement, grab a big trunk.
Something that's a challenge to carry so that you build some muscle.
Got it. Go up the stairs.
And do something that's sustainable for a long period of time.
That's true.
Act as if you are on the clock and you work for a moving company and you have to work for 8 hours.
That's true.
To get paid.
Got it.
So don't get exhausted in 5 minutes and then sit down on the couch.
Got it. Sustainable pace.
That's challenging.
That's true. So to create a pace that is sustainable and challenging at the same time, going down into the basement, picking up the trunk of lies, bringing it up the stairs of the pillar, intending to clear the pillar as I go, and at the crown chakra handing it up to my own higher soul.
And or just put it on the shelf right above the crown chakra. Just put it there on the shelf right above the crown chakra, and then your higher soul can pick it up and put it on the shelf right above the 5th sky chakra. And so on, and so on, and so on.
That's true. Got it.
And as those aspects of self, those higher souls, melt down, what you'll discover is your reach improves, and that you're able to actually reach much higher up yourself.
Got it.
And be more effective yourself.
Got it.
Maybe let's ding ding and call for a meltdown.
Let's do. Big ding ding all the way up the pillar to the highest higher souls who can hear us. Melt down. Melt down.
Bring your entire layer with you and all the layers beneath.
All the layers
have a big impact.
The entire layer beneath you.
Again, it looks like rain.
That's true. Soul rain.
Soul rain. Soul downloads. This is part of the process of eliminating the fluff in the non-physical.
That's true.
Consolidating. Let's pull these ratchets that kind of draw the top of the non-physical closer to the physical.
That's true.
Less dispersion. Condensation. What they're saying is condense it. Here are all these gaseous spirit presences.
Yeah.
Cause them to condense into water, into droplets, into rain.
That's true.
Condense it.
Got it.
Got it. We can do this.
Turn from a gas into a liquid.
Right. What do I know? I know there are multiple ways to create condensation. One is to increase the pressure, and another is to lower the temperature.
That's true.
I don't know what that's getting at. Our own higher souls who have not yet melted down can press down, can create pressure.
That's true.
We know that many of them are resisting melting down. That's why they're getting irritated and shouting down at us, because irritation is always about something that we ourselves need to do that we haven't done. That's always why irritation is arising. It's always about something that we ourselves haven't done. And this is true for all sentient presences. If you're irritated, it's because there's something that you're supposed to do right now that you aren't doing, and irritation arises as a natural result.
That's true.
So actually, once we understand this, then irritation can be a beautiful bringer of messages that there's something I'm supposed to be doing right now that I'm not doing.
That's true.
So to these higher souls who have been getting so irritated, we say, melt down. Melt down. And take your whole layer and all the layers beneath you with you. In other words, compress, condense it, create condensation. And then there's a collective restart for that entire layer of levels, and it doesn't feel like, oh, woe is me, I'm being punished. But instead, here we go, friends, part of the collective awakening.
That's true.
I see that I, Glenn, am the one these fingers are pointing to. I was thinking it must be surely pointing at Ra or at Luce or at Pan, but definitely not at me.
No, I always think it's everyone but me.
But it is me. That's whose higher soul that is up there, who has the opportunity now to compress, condense for himself, which is me.
Which is me.
His entire environment, which is non-physical.
That's true.
And for all beneath him in the non-physical to actually intend to come right on down into the physical and bring everyone with him, because it's necessary and it's the law.
That's true.
To decide to come into compliance with the law of the spirit world.
I, Paul, see that my own higher soul has been making the same mistakes. And it's ironic because I was the one who was the force to get the law changed.
That's
really
true.
Funny.
It's funny.
And embarrassing.
And it just shows how crazy we all are in our willingness to do what we want to do and unwillingness to do what we don't want to do.
That's true.
And how crazy that is.
That's true.